Hello everybody, this is Cheri at djcenter.blogspot.com, and tonight we are going to make a really quick card. And this is actually the card we're going to make is one that could be done as a set of 4. Now this is going to go together really quickly because I've already done all of the basic prep work. I'm just kind of wanting to show you what I used and the overall effect and why I chose the products I did. So I'm using a lot of Tim Holtz in this one. I'm using the Tim Holtz Ideology Paper Stash from this year, the Christmas Noel one. Love this paper pack. And I'm going to show you some additional samples when the video, at the end of the video, of another set of cards using the same paper. I used some white embossing powder. This is from Ranger Super Fine Detail white embossing powder. I did use some Rustic Wilderness and Festive Berry ink, as well as some archival ink and some Versamark ink. Lots of ink going on in this one. Stamp sets that I used. I am kind of my theme for this year's Christmas cards. For everything that's personal, not work related, but all my personal cards, all of them are going to have this sentiment, John 3:16, on the inside. So for that, I have this. It's called Everlasting Life Holidays. It's a really old set from close to my heart. It is no longer available, but it has some great scriptures on it that I like to use on cards. This is also another set that's very old. It's called Yuletide Carol. And what I'm using is the center of this tag that said Merry Christmas. So I use that. And then another old, but this is still available because it's older, but I just purchased it this year, I believe, from either I think I got it from scrapbook.com or Simon Says Stamp, but it is still available if you kind of look for it. But this is the one of the blueprint sketch sets. I don't remember the number. This is Christmas number 2 on it. And this is kind of where everything on my card is centered around this set. And then for this set of stamps, I used some old paper tray ink craft cardstock that I had on hand. So we're going to get in, and like I said, I've already done the prep work on this one. So I took an 8.5 by 11 an 8.5 by 11 sheet of the craft cardstock, and I cut it at 4 1/4 on the long side. So it's 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2 because I wanted a top opening card. Now I went in with the Ranger Jet Black archival ink, and I stamped my scripture on the inside. So now we're ready to work on the top. So using that paper pack, which those papers are double-sided, and for this one I'm choosing this particular pattern. I used this one on another card, which I will show those cards at the end, and I distressed the edges a little bit with some Festive Berry. I'm not going to do any inking or distressing on this particular card because I want it to be simple, and I want to show that real organic feel. So I am just, again, a super simple set to do. So I cut this particular piece at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, so that I will have an 1/8 of an inch all the way around of the craft showing. I wanted it to feel kind of vintage, so that's why I chose the craft. So just stick that down, and that part's done. Now, for the image, I stamped it in, I believe it was archival jet black ink, and then I did traditional water or colored pencils on this one. So on this one, I used Prismacolor pencils and Gamsol, and then I don't know how well you can see it there. It does pick it up, this glossiness of the red bow. I actually went over the bow with glossy accents and let it dry, and this has been sitting on my desk for, oh, I don't know, probably 3 weeks. Now, you can see a word on the back. This is kind of a cheater's tip. If you have an error or a leftover piece of something, you can always use it on the back of a card so your product doesn't go to waste. So I did do that, and I'm just simply going to put that right in the center. You'll see that I cut down my my image was on just a piece of white cardstock, and then I put it on the craft as a frame. So this is where I took that Merry Christmas, and I can tell, I've already stuck it down too hard, so we're just going to go with it. So I wanted to cut this the same width as the paper. Now if I were going to do this all over again, I probably wouldn't do that. I probably would have gone ahead and cut it just a little bit narrow, but I really wanted it to kind of banner all the way across. Now on a couple of the cards in this particular set that I will show, I actually popped these up on foam tape, both the sentiment strip and the image strip. But for this one and for half of them, I cut it, I popped them on foam, and for the other half, I did not. So there we have our simple card all put together. Not too busy, but busy enough to create interest. So this is the first one of that, or well, technically it's the last one of that set, but this is the one with the wreath. Now, one of the things in this one, and I don't know, this one may be my favorite, and I'm actually, this is the other one that I did not pop up on the foam tape, and I really liked, that's why I chose not to do it on this one, because I really like the effect of this. It feels so vintage. Again, I used just plain old Prisma colored pencils, and then everything else is the same stamp set, same inside, different piece of paper from that stack. The one thing that is different within the image, and you'll see that the blue backgrounds are the same behind the images, you can just barely pick that up, but instead of using glossy accents on this, I went over it with a shimmer pen and did that one. So then we move to the next one. Pulling these out here. And this is the ice skate. Now this is the first one that I popped up on foam tape. I also inked around the edges using Festive Berry. Now this image, again, using the colored pencils, but when I was all done, I went over that with a little bit of actual glitter glue. So this has a little bit more glitter on it than this one does. But again, the same, you know, we've got the same vibe going on for the whole set. And then the final one is the Christmas stocking. Again, same blue background that I've used in all of them. This time I went around with both the Festive Berries and the new Rustic Wilderness ink set. I went around both of these images with it. And this one I actually went around the craft portion, and I kind of wish I hadn't, because I really like the craft. This is the only one I did that with, but I really like kind of that raw craft in there. Now the pop on this particular one, besides the colored pencils, I actually used liquid pearls, but I kind of smoothed it out, so there is some texture here, but it really kind of sets off the top of that stocking. So this is a set of 4. Now if you were gifting, if you were making gift sets, this would be something really cute where you could just pop it into a nice little box maybe you made, or a clear envelope or something. Be sure and put envelopes with it so your recipient can send them out, but it would make a fun little maybe hostess gift, or a fun little, you could change it out to thank you, and it would just make a fun little treat that you could give to someone. Now I did make another set of these, and on this set I used the same paper and the same images, but I did it very differently. The first thing that I did is I did them on black. I did a black card base, and then I put white cardstock on the inside so that I could write on it, and I put my scripture in there. And then for the background, I used a different stamp set that said Merry Christmas. This is an old, close to my heart stamp set. And on the blog, I'll list exactly which stamp sets I used on these. And then this particular stamp set had some stars on it. So I stamped them in clear or Versamark, and then I embossed them with black embossing. I don't I like it. I did pop the images back on Tim Holt's glossy jewel toned cardstock. And I really like them. The only thing I'm not sure I like is it seems a little bit busy with it being directly stamped on the pattern paper. But here we have our ice skate. Again, this time I had used watercolors on them, but I used some shimmer pen on this one. This one, I don't think I used shimmer pen at all. Again, using watercolors. This one, there's a little bit of shimmer pen up here at the top of the ornament. And this one, I don't believe I also used any shimmer pen. So very different, but a very cute set as well. So actually, I have 2 sets of cards. So with these two sets, I think I am now up to, let's see, 87 cards that I have made. I think I've got to sit down and recount, but I think I need about 50 more. So we are getting there, but still have a long ways to go. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're inspired to get out some of your older sets if you have them, combine them with new things like paper, and get out there and create. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.